Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody to Point of Sale 101. So, most POS systems, point of sale systems, share many similar attributes, but there's always going to be a few unique functions and subtle differences within each user interface. This training is designed to offer a brief but comprehensive introduction to the IMPOS POS system, which we're using within the HARVAC Group. So we're starting off with the basics, looking at the login screen. Here is the login screen. You have a login keypad, which is where you're going to be entering in your unique 4-digit login code, which will be allocated to you once you join the group. So to show you how to log on, quite simply, you're going to put in your code, push the login button. Also on the login screen, we have another function which we are not currently using, but I'll show you how to use it nonetheless, is the clock in function. So the clock here at the bottom of the screen, when we push that, we'll bring up a clock in and out. With that, again, what we'll do is we log in by putting our code in. Okay, once we've logged in, you'll be presented with either one of two screens, either the floor map, which is here, or you'll see the fast screen, the lightning fast screen. When you're on the floor, you're going to go straight into the table map. This is to make it nice and easy for you to access any of the tables before you're putting through an order from the floor. There are two ways you can do this. On the left-hand side here, you'll see the floor plan with the list of the tables. These are the tables that are open currently. You can select any one of those and push the open table icon, and it will bring up the table. You can also go to the table map and select any of the tables here. By double tapping, it will open them. If you're opening a new table, quite simply, you can push any of the green tables. The green tables are vacant. Double tap them, and it will bring up the covers. Covers is the quantity or the amount of people at the table. So 2 people sitting down would be 2 covers, and then we can begin to order the food. To order. Other functions from the floor plan. We can select the course selection for the table. So mostly we're using verbal communication to update staff members who are working in same sections as to whereabouts their table is at in terms of their meal. So if they're on their starters, their mains, or their desserts. But you can also update this status on the POS system here so that people can see it when they log in. In order to do this, we single press the button, the table, highlight it, and then push either the entree, main, or dessert courses selection. It will change the status in the little speech bubble to the top left to the appropriate course. If, for any reason, a customer moves or we have the wrong table selected when they sit down, we can also change their table by pressing the table number, pushing change table, and then moving to the table that's appropriate. We can also transfer items. So sometimes an order may be allocated to the wrong table, or we'll have another guest who will be requesting to pay for another table's food or drinks. So once an item's been ordered and it's already on a table, in order to transfer it to another table, it's very simple. We'll highlight the table, we're transferring the items from, push item transfer, select the table we're transferring the items to. This screen will then pop up, which will display the items on that table. And we can select or highlight them using the quantity. If it's more than 1, we can select 1, 2, 3, 4, multiple numbers. Push the arrow button, transfer. Once that is transferred across, we push transfer to complete the process. We can also use functions on the screen to split check. So quite often, guests will want to share a meal together, but they don't want to pay as a whole. They'd like to pay individually for the items which they've had. So this is quite a handy function to save a lot of time on big tables, rather than trying to work out the amounts of the items manually from the fast screen. If you push or highlight a table, we go to split check. It will bring open the split check screen here, which is very similar to the item transfer. From there, we can select the items, transfer them across, And once they've been transferred across, there'll be the payment options here, or the fast cash payment options here. Push the appropriate button for FPOS, which is Tyro, or for cash, and continue on the sale. From this screen, we can also attach notes to a table. So again, we'll be communicating verbally mostly to share with other staff members in the same section, whether we have a VIP table or there's any special dietary requirements, or if someone's celebrating an occasion such as a birthday or a proposal. But we can also do this on the POS to make sure that anyone can see it. Every time they open the table, a message will pop up. So we'll pop that in now. To do this, you simply highlight the table, push table notes, type in the message. So for example, we type in VIP, update this. Now every time anyone logs in and pushes the table, it will flash up the message with a VIP. So it's a very fast way to communicate with everyone in the restaurants. One more function from the floor map, which is also very handy, especially in large venues, is to send the message. So send a message is to send a message from any point of sale screen in the venue to any printer in the venue. To do this, you can select any table, it doesn't matter which one, push send message, and that'll bring up the message screen. So we can type in a message to the chef, could be hold this item or disregard. Select the printer which we want to send the message to from the printer list, and then push OK. This will then send a docket through to that printer with a message. Finally, if you're on the table map and you want to go back to the fast screen, you just push exit floor plan, which will bring you onto the fast screen. Now the Lightning fast screen is designed to have the most popular items, the house products, all on the same screen to make sure that we can put through cash sales at the bar, mostly, as fast as possible. So, to distinguish between the products and the menu, so we have all of the main function buttons and the menu buttons in purple. This is so when we're skipping through screens, we can identify them easily. Okay, so occasionally if we're at the bar and someone approaches the bar to place an order, we may not realize that it was intended to be transferred onto a table. If this happens when we're on the fast screen, whatever the items may be, we can transfer it to a table by pushing the transfer check button. Push the transfer check button, and then we'll be able to select the table from the list over here on the left-hand side. So first of all, the tabs, we select either tables or tabs, and we scroll down the list, transferring it to the table that we want to send the items to. Push continue to confirm, and the items will be transferred to the table. Okay, when we want to send an order to a table or place the order, we finally finish it off by pushing send order. Send order will put it onto the table and bring us back to the login screen. One thing to be careful of is when we are on the fast screen, pushing items and pushing send order without being attached to a table, this will send it to a recall sale. And the purpose of a recall sale is during busy periods, if we're on a bar, to be able to, for servers to be able to push send order. Remembering the order number, then the staff member can go back in, pushing the recall sale, and the recall sale open it to be able to continue with their sale, which is all well and good if you're using it for that purpose, but if you push send order without it being attached to a table and you forget about it, these checks will be left open at the end of the night, which can cause a lot of confusion and issues for the closing manager. So we need to make sure that we are not pushing anything to a recall sale unless we're going to open it to finalize the payment. From the fast screen, we can also select the course. So the courses at the top will be entree, main, desserts by highlighting each of the courses at the top of the screen. For example, if we have a large table and you're putting through starters for a table, first of all, pushing the first icon at the top, the first course, putting through the food items, going to the second course, putting it through until you completed the whole order. This will then print it in the kitchen to separate courses with separations in the docker. If we go to a table and the number of people at the table is incorrect, we can either add the cover numbers to a table, change the cover numbers on the table, or remove them altogether by going to the table, selecting the table, pushing the cover numbers, for example 2, and covers. This will update the cover numbers. Another really handy function from the fast screen when in a table is to find out how long someone's been waiting for a specific item or who ordered it. We can push table info. Table info will bring up a detailed log of when the item was, what item was ordered, how many were ordered, the time, and who ordered it, from what location. Okay, the order name function. Order name function is typically designed for use for cafes and takeaway type venues, but we can utilize this if we want to. For example, if we have someone who's waiting to take away food and there's a cash sale, we can put through the item and we can push order name, type in their name, and OK. It will then attach it to the order number. That way, when the product comes up, even though there's no table allocated, at least we know the name of the person who's collecting the order. One more really handy function for the POS screen, for the tables, is the last order and reorder. So if we go into a table and the last item ordered needs to be reordered again, we push last order and it will bring up that same item once more. Or if we want to select any of the items from the sales screen here, we can highlight it and we can push reorder to reorder the item again. If we need to put in a quantity cell, for example, we have 12, rather than push the same button 12 times, we can push the button once and go 12 times.